Before we start the video, we need to understand the basics of any relationship that we share. Whether it's father-child, mother-father, or any sexual or bloodline relation, and even includes enemies. In yogic terms, every person's karmic load has layers, in which the first one include their own personal stock, that is prarabdha and sanchita karma, that is their own accumulated tendencies and destiny. And the second one is the relational thread or the runanubandha, which are bonds formed with others, parent-child, teacher-disciple, food shared, loved one, bloodline, or any relationship. These two decide which person we are going to meet or stay with, and based on how deep our karmic connection is, the more close relation we share. And now, with this basic kept in mind, let's come to the main video. Many of you might be aware of Ma Bharati, one of the most involved members during Dhyanalinga consecration. Years ago, during the Dhyanalinga consecration, something very unusual happened with her. A man of great dignity appeared at the gates where she used to stay. He stood silently waiting. No demands, no impatience, just presence. The guard informed her, but busy with her schedule, she delayed. And finally, out of irritation, she stepped out, saw him, ignored him, and turned away. And just when she did this, moments later, the man disappeared. And later, in the flash of clarity, she remembered what Sadhguru had told her. Sadhguru clearly reminded her that her father of her previous birth will come to meet her. He is in final stage of his journey. When he comes, invite him in and serve him food. By this, you will complete your unfinished bond that has followed you across lifetime. And shaken, she immediately called Sadhguru, and his words were piercing. He clearly mentioned that he came and went. He emptied himself, but you lost the opportunity. I know there are lots of confusion in this. You might be thinking, what does all this mean? And there might be several questions, in which the major question would be, how could someone from past life come? And if her father came, how could she not recognize? Second, how offering just the food can resolve the karmas. And if he was in his final stage of journey, he could have simply dissolved himself. Why did he go to Ma Bharati? Well, before we answer this question, this channel needs your support in terms of like, share, and subscribe. Because as per the YouTube analytics, 75% of the individuals simply watch the video and leave at the middle. Now this action really takes a toll for this channel. So please, if you loved the video up till here, do watch the complete video. And also, if you loved it, do not forget to give this a like, share, and subscribe. Now moving further to your questions, well, the short answer is, emptying is individual, but the completion of a relationship is two-sided. He could have easily emptied his karma, even if Ma Bharati didn't act. Her action would be the chance to complete her side and dissolve this relationship. A being in the final stage of evolution can easily drop their personal stock, that is sanchita and prarabdha, and that is what emptied himself mean. He was no longer compelled by his personal karma. So even if her father won't come to her, he has anyways completed his journey. But still the question remains that how can someone from past life come, and if he was her father, then why she was not able to recognize? To understand this, we need to remember that in yogic science, a being doesn't vanish after death. If the being's karmic cycle is not resolved, they may carry subtle memories in the form of Shukshma Sarira or subtle body. And if such a being reaches the final stage of evolution, they can consciously choose where and how to appear, sometimes physical and sometimes just presence. In Ma Bharati's case, Sadhguru has clearly warned Ma Bharati that her father of Raigad birth, not her current life father, would come to meet her in physical form in just 30 days because he has reached his final stage of evolution and needed to dissolve his bond with her. So it's not reincarnation again, it's the completion of one thread before merging fully. But then, how could Ma Bharati not recognize him if he was her father, even if she was so spiritually involved and a very intense sadhaka? This is because the recognition of past life bond isn't automatic even for advanced seekers, because we all know that memory resets with each birth. Although we can carry the vasanas or smell or tendencies of our past life, but not the conscious memory of their faces or names. Secondly, Runanubandha isn't about some physical memory, it's about energy. And that's why she couldn't see him as a father, because this bond was not about recognition, it was about karmic closure. And one thing one must not forget, that even though she was deeply involved in sadhana, she was still a human. Spiritual involvement sharpens awareness, but doesn't make you infallible in every moment. She was so caught in the consecration process that she missed the subtle prompt. And with this, coming to our second question, that how can someone resolve the karmas by just offering food? The answer is simple, because in this culture, annadana or offering food is the classical way to settle down subtle debts and complete bonds. Sadhguru's instruction, that is, invite him in and serve him a meal, was a targeted, minimal step to acknowledge the bond, express the willingness, and seal completion through a sacred exchange. And had she done it, both ends of the thread would be dissolved. But then the third question intensely shouts in our mind that why did he come to her if he was in his final stage of journey? He could have simply dissolved himself by shedding the karmas. Why did he come to Maa Bharati? Now one thing one must understand is that even though he has reached a state where his personal karma was zero, still he came to Maa Bharati only because Runanubandha requires both sides to release. By appearing and giving her chance, he fulfilled his last relational dharma, that is, offered the other end a graceful exit. He came to offer her a clean closure, a simple, conscious act of receiving him and offering food that would dissolve her part and would end the bond. But when she declined, his status still remained empty, but her side stayed pending. And that is what Sadhguru meant when he says that he emptied himself, but you lost the opportunity. Now, why am I telling you this story now? This is because Pitru Paksha is going on. The first 12 days and the 2 remaining days are not some superstition. They are signs of memory and gratitude. Your body is not completely here. It carries many unfinished karmas. Your joy, your unknown sadness, unknown fear, your compulsiveness are all bondage to you. When one life empties itself, all connected karmic thread moves towards it, seeking resolution. And that's why ancestors are said to visit during this time. Pitru Paksha is just like the window given to us to acknowledge, honor, and release this baggage. And if we ignore it, we will miss the opportunity just like Maa Bharati did. And I know you might be thinking, then what should we do? One thing is, we have to offer gratitude, water, food, rituals, prayers, etc. But how? To get the solution, every year on the day of Mahalaya Amavasya, that is a day just before Navratri, that is 21st September this month, a powerful process called Kal Bhairava Shanti is conducted to support the well-being of ancestors and release them. Along with it, Agni Arpanam, which is the offering of fire, is made as an expression of gratitude to everything that has nurtured our life. Remember, don't see this as another ritual. See it as clearing the path. And finally, did you notice the connection? Pitru Paksha gives you a structured window to loosen these threads. When those settle, Navratri begins. Where Devi's energy or feminine energy will be highest, the receptivity will also increase. Because our vessel is now clean and empty. And this is the essence of Pitru Paksha. Because when Devi arrives in Navratri, you have to be empty, open and ready to receive her. If you skip this, Navratri will become a ritual. But if you do both, it becomes a living, transformative experience. And with this, finally closing the video, this has helped you to understand the deeper connection. Share this with others who may not know. And for details of Kal Bhairava Shanti, check the link in the description. Also, if you wish to join my weekly letters every Sunday, do join this journey along with 500 people in Sadhaka Diary. With this, if you loved the video, please do not forget to give this a like, share and subscribe. And also you can support us through links in the description. Up to next, stay safe, healthy, happy and namaskaram.